What's going on, everybody? I go by the name of Kari, and I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on SneakerPhetish. It's Black History Month, and when we're talking black culture and black history, you gotta talk about black Greek culture. And today, we're taking an early look at an upcoming Air Jordan 1 that speaks directly to Michael Jordan's roots within black Greek culture. Without further ado, let's get into it. Boom. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Air Jordan 1 Brotherhood. First things first, before we get into this video, I need to give an apology to Seth Fowler. Seth, if you're listening, I apologize, man. I watched your video. Really dope job, by the way. However, I know you got the 8.5 because I got the size 9, man. I got mine from Gold Instant Ship as well. I got the size 9, so I'm sorry you had to get the 8.5. It's all love, man. Let's stay on this box for a second because this video is gonna be a very interesting one. I got a lot of thoughts and a lot of things that I wanna say. Really bad misstep with not giving us special edition packaging for such a monumental sneaker. When we're talking black Greek culture, and we'll talk about this a little bit more as the video progresses, you talk about how amazingly influential and how serious and important black Greek culture is to those of us who are in it, and to not signify that with special edition packaging for something that's so near and dear to Michael Jordan just seems like a really, really big misstep. I mean, if we got special edition packaging for the bubblegums, we could have at least got a University Gold and Light Bordeaux box for the Brotherhood. So it's really a shame that these come in the regular box, but that's all you're getting with these guys. First impressions on the shoe, it's gonna grow on a lot of you. That's what I'm gonna say, because a lot of people said that they didn't like this sneaker at all when it first debuted. They thought that it was weird looking, and the moment that I saw it, I knew what time it was with the sneaker being Omega colors. However, if you're not really a member of the frat, which I've talked to members of the frat, and a lot of them aren't even feeling it, you might have a hard time figuring out how in the world am I gonna put an outfit together with that, and that could bring down some of the demand on the shoe. But the sneaker, when you get into the history, really doesn't disappoint. Let's get into it. All right, starting with the upper of the sneaker here. Now, one thing that we do need to talk about is the quality of the materials. The leather is not bad. It's actually a pretty nice tumbled leather here. University Gold leather on the collar of the sneaker, wrapping around the heel, on the toe box of the sneaker. Very, very nice leather. It's not bad. Now, that University Gold is offset by light Bordeaux. That's the color that they're using with this one, as opposed to the darker Bordeaux that we saw on like the silver swoosh Air Jordan 1 highs that came out a little while ago. So starting with the Ball and Wings logo, you actually get the light Bordeaux on the Ball and Wings Air Jordan logo. Moving down from there, you also get the light Bordeaux swoosh and the light Bordeaux embellishments going down the eyelids, right here on the mud guards and wrapping around the toe box of the shoe, accented with the white leather quarter panels on the sneaker as well. Taking a top down look at the shoe here, you guys can see some more of that consistency of that University Gold leather, more tumbled leather in the toe box. I like it. You guys know I always kind of press right here to see if it kind of dimples inward. This time it really does. It's very, very nice. Moving up from there, you got the plain white nylon tongue here with the University Gold and light Bordeaux Nike Air tongue. Let's talk laces on these. Light Bordeaux laces here. In addition to that, you get white laces and a set of University Gold laces as well. Now, you guys can decide which ones you like best. Me personally, I think I would probably just keep the light Bordeaux laces in the shoe if I were keeping the shoe, but that's something else we'll talk about in a second here. But I don't know, I like the light Bordeaux, I guess, best out of the 3 lace options, but you guys can sound off down below. Let me know which laces you guys like the best. White midsole with the University Gold outsole on this shoe. So very nice University Gold color offsetting that light Bordeaux. And last but not least, University Gold insole with the light Bordeaux Nike Air emblem on the heel. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the Air Jordan 1 University Gold and light Bordeaux, aka the Brotherhood 1s. Now, my favorite part of the video, let's get into a little bit of history about what makes these sneakers so special. Back in the early 1900s, when a lot of schools were still segregated, even some schools that were not segregated, still, of course, a lot of African Americans experienced a lot of racism, a lot of things to ostracize them, kind of isolate them from being able to access the resources and the tools that they needed to be successful academically and socially. As a result, there were a number of student-led organizations, both fraternities and sororities, that came together to promote brotherhood or sisterhood, academic excellence, things like that. Today, these organizations still remain and are still going very strong, and there's 9 prominent organizations that are known as the Divine Nine. The shirt that I'm wearing today represents the same thing that we're talking about in these sneakers here, which is fraternity. I joined the oldest black Greek organization, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, founded December 4th, 1906 at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York. Now, even though Alpha is the oldest and the coldest, there are 8 other organizations that make up up this Divine Nine. Now, the other 8 organizations underneath this Divine Nine umbrella include Kappa Alpha Psi, or Phi Nu Pi, Phi Beta Sigma, Iota Phi Theta, Alpha Kappa Alpha, Delta Sigma Theta, Sigma Gamma Rho, Zeta Phi Beta, and of course, Michael Jordan's fraternity that we're talking about today, Omega Psi Phi. So let's talk a little about Omega Psi Phi, Michael Jordan's fraternity. Omega Psi Phi was actually founded November the 17th, 1911 at Howard University. Now, the interesting thing about Omega Psi Phi is that it was actually the first fraternity that was founded at an HBCU, or historically black college and university. The thing about Omega Psi Phi is that they actually have a pretty strong, long-standing rivalry with my fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha. And because of that, I didn't know whether to use these sneakers for toilet paper or to actually show them to you guys today. But for the sake of YouTube, and because I don't think y'all want to see all that, I guess we'll go ahead and just do the regular review on the sneakers. All right, now that you guys understand the Divine Nine and Omega Psi Phi, let's talk a little bit more about Michael Jordan as an Omega. Now, if you guys do or don't know, Michael Jordan has been shown in a few rarer photos that he is a member of Omega Psi Phi, throwing up the infamous hooks, which is kind of the sign or the symbol for Omegas. He actually has a brand in the Omega symbol that's on his chest, and he also has been seen in shoot-arounds and practices wearing Omega paraphernalia as well. So while there's no denying that Michael Jordan is a member of Omega Psi Phi, the problem is that once again, Nike and the Sneakers app have gotten it wrong. Buckle up, because it's about to get a little spicy. There are 3 different ways to get inducted into an organization like Omega Psi Phi or even Alpha Phi Alpha. Number 1, you can pledge during undergrad while you're actually a student at the college that you're going to. Number 2, you can join after you graduate from college as a grad chapter member. Or number 3, you can join as an honorary member. So I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys, because there's only a couple of YouTubers that are even Black Greeks that I know of. I know Unbreakable Kicks is a member of Phi Beta Sigma, but myself being a member of Alpha Phi Alpha, I want to give you guys a little bit of game about what this thing looks like behind the scenes. You get the most respect when you join a fraternity when you join undergrad, when you actually go through the process of joining an organization during your undergraduate education. Now, you'll be respected as a member of an organization when you join grad chapter, but it's well known throughout the Black Greek community that when you join a grad chapter organization, chances are you weren't able to make it for whatever reason in undergrad, so you went back and you kind of took the easier route to become a member in the grad chapter, and it is what it is. And then when you're an honorary member, usually that just goes to celebrities that maybe wanted to be members of organizations for a long time and finally got their opportunity to become one, kind of like how Brandy the singer just became a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha. Last thing about the Omega Psi Phi organization is that, of course, the reason why these sneakers are light Bordeaux and University Gold is because it's basically a vintage or a muted or more dull way of representing the royal purple and old gold, which are the official colors of the Omega Psi Phi organization. Now, a lot of people want to know why they didn't do the exact colors of the organization. Does Omega own the colors? No, you can't own a color. The colors of Alpha Phi Alpha are black and gold. Alpha Phi Alpha can't own the color black. That doesn't make sense. But I think that the reason why they made these kind of more dull colors is because it represents a vintage look or a vintage version of these colors as well. You guys got to remember, these sneakers came out in 1985. So if you had a royal purple and old gold 1985 Air Jordan and it aged over time and became a bit more vintage, the purple would probably fade to this light Bordeaux color that we're seeing now. So that's where the colors for the sneakers are coming from, but members of the organization have been feeling away because these don't really match the colors of the organization. But I think that that was on purpose. I'm pretty sure with all the vintage stuff we've been seeing these days, they wanted to go for that kind of older look. That's what I'm guessing. That being said, let's get to the Sneakers app and let's look at what was said about the University Gold and Light Bordeaux Jordan 1. It says, let's take it back to MJ's college days. As a student athlete in Chapel Hill, Michael not only starred on the court, he also joined one of the most historic African-American fraternities. Now the vibrancy of the lifelong bond radiates through this latest Air Jordan 1, celebrating his time with his fraternity brothers. Well, that sounds good, but it's totally wrong. I did a little bit of research on the Mighty Psi Delta chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated at UNC Chapel Hill, and for whatever reason, I never found Michael Jeffrey Jordan's name in the membership rosters, and then I realized something. Michael Jordan went to UNC Chapel Hill between 1981 and 1985. However, he didn't become a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated until 1987. Not only that, Michael Jordan didn't join the Mighty Psi Delta chapter of Omega Psi Phi, he joined the Omicron Alpha chapter of Omega Psi Phi, located in Wilmington, North Carolina, which is a graduate chapter. So by the time Michael Jordan became a Q-Dog, he was already in the NBA, and not only that, had just come off of an incredible scoring season with the Bulls. So I have a couple of conspiracy theories about how this might have happened back in the 80s. One thing is that because Michael Jordan was so focused on basketball, maybe he started pledging, but he dropped his line and then went back to join in graduate chapter. So that's the reason why we're seeing some of those more rare photos of Michael Jordan with the dog collar around his neck while he was pledging. However, again, joining a graduate chapter makes it very interesting that he got the brand on his chest, because in Black Greek culture, you normally wouldn't get branded like that unless you joined an undergrad. That's the type of activity you would really see with undergraduate pledges, not with grad chapter pledges that are a little bit older. Typically, they're a little more seasoned in the game and they don't really want to do outlandish stuff like that. So it feels like Michael Jordan took an easier way into the frat, quote unquote, but then went ahead and got the branding and got all that good stuff, you know, once he was in there. Now, again, that's just Black Greeky talk, so I'm not gonna stay too long on that. But the more disappointing thing about that is that the Sneakers app and everybody else who goes off of the history that they find within the Sneakers app and around Google, a lot of people have it wrong. Michael Jordan was not a student athlete at Chapel Hill when he joined Omega Psi Phi. He wasn't even in undergrad, he wasn't even in college, and he didn't even pledge at Chapel Hill. None of that is accurate. And so as a Greek and as somebody that not only is African American, but a part of the Black Greek system, it's imperative that you get the facts straight when it comes to telling stories like this. It's almost a slap in the face for them to throw these colors on this sneaker and push this sneaker out for everybody to buy it, but not even get the facts straight. This is Michael Jordan's life and legacy that we're talking about here, and we want to make sure that we get the facts right when we're telling Michael Jordan's stories. And unfortunately, a lot of people have been really misguided thinking that Michael Jordan was a member of this fraternity that he joined in college when he didn't. If anybody from Nike or Jordan Brand is watching this, guys, please, I don't know who you have telling the stories or who you have going into the history of the archives with these sneakers right now, but please, on behalf of Black people, on behalf of Greeks, on behalf of a member of a fraternity, please get the information right next time. If you guys ever tell any more stories having to do with Mike's Greek affiliation or his Greek life, y'all just talk to me. I'm available. You can just hit me up. We'll sit down and I'll tell you whatever you want to know. Now, final thought before we end this out. Nike, in my opinion, has really been lacking for Black History Month in the last few years. As a matter of fact, I would probably say the best Black History Month sneaker that we've gotten is probably in 2019-ish, somewhere around that, 2018, somewhere around that. But last year for 2021, we didn't get anything for Black History Month. And this year for 2022, we got 3 Black Air Force Ones, which is a whole other topic in itself because I think that's ridiculous. But why wasn't this sneaker a part of Black History Month? I mean, Black Greek culture folding in with Michael Jordan would have made a perfect segue to make this a Black History Month sneaker. Why not just throw the BHM emblem on it and check that box like Nike tends to check other boxes for other collections? This probably would have been a pretty easy play for BHM, and it's highly coincidental that they dropped the sneaker during Black History Month but didn't make the sneaker a part of their Black History Month collection. But the sneaker tells a story about Black Greek culture, which in and of itself is Black history. So it seems like it would have been a no-brainer to kind of make that connection, but for now, we're just getting a regular Air Jordan 1 with muted or dulled colors that resemble Omega Psi Phi with a regular box. The sneaker, in my opinion, is pretty lackluster. I'm not the biggest fan of it, and I don't think that a lot of people are gonna be big fans of this shoe. I think that a lot of you guys probably watching this are really not even caring that much about the story. You look at the shoe, you look at the colors, and you want to know, first of all, how much resale is in them, and second of all, what kind of an outfit can you get off with them? I've seen a lot of people talk about Lakers colors with this, and hey, match up the old school Lakers vibes with these. I'm not mad at that. It's all purple and gold. Now, as far as resale, I don't know how much these are worth on the market, but I'm sure that there'll be some kind of money in them because they're a Jordan 1. So there you go. It's a cool story to tell, and I'm not mad at Jordan Brand for wanting to tell the story about an aspect of Michael Jordan's life that really has never been told before or rolled out in terms of product. And I think it's a dope angle, and I'd like to see more of it, but I just hope that next time it's done with a little bit more expertise and a little bit more care. That's all. All right, that's pretty much all that I got to say about these. Now it's time for you guys to sound off down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about the Jordan 1 Brotherhood. Are these a must cop for you, or are these a hard pass? I know that the colors are a little bit off-putting for a lot of people, so some people might be passing on them, but let me know. Let me know what you guys think about these. If you're going to be trying to pick these up, I believe they drop February the 24th. Don't quote me on that because we know that release dates are always subject to change, but if you're looking to pick these up, sound them down below. Let me know. Of course, right down in the comments, make sure that you click on that subscribe button so we can welcome you into the Sneaker Fetish family to make sure you don't miss out on any more heat that comes through like these, because I guarantee you I got a lot more heat on the way. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on Sneaker Fetish, taking a look at these with me, unboxing them with me for a couple of minutes. I go by the name of Kari. This is the Air Jordan 1 Brotherhood, and until next time, I'm out.